Good morning, Sharks. Welcome back. This week is a very special week for all of us. We kick off Triduum. So for those of you who don't remember or who are maybe new, let me explain what Triduum is. Triduum is a time that Don Bosco would take time set aside to truly welcome everyone back to school. And it was a time to reset, to refocus that, all right, we're back in school. And I know some of you maybe have already been feeling that, but this is the week to really acknowledge it's Triduum and we're back. So there's going to be a couple things that we'll do this week. One is we'll have reconciliation. Bosco always felt that after the summer, we all could use an opportunity to re-cleanse ourselves, to maybe confess the sins that maybe happened over the summer break. So on Wednesday, Father Tien is going to be on campus, and he's inviting anyone who would like to come to campus and partake in the sacrament of reconciliation. This is for you and your family, so if you all want to come together, you can. To do this, you do need to sign up. There is scheduled time, and that email is going to be sent to you, and you'll go ahead and sign up if you'd like to come to reconciliation on Wednesday. The other big part of Triduum is Don Bosco would give words of wisdom, an inspirational speech, if you will, something for the boys to think about, to set goals. Because part of the school year isn't just, about doing all the work, it's about setting goals for yourself. So at the end of the year, you can look back and you can see all you've achieved and you can strive to become the best version of you. So he would always give a motivational speech, words of wisdom. And this year we have a very special person who is offered to do that for us. I'd like to introduce, to those of you who haven't met, Mr. Danny Lucas. Mr. Lucas has a long tradition here on our campus. He's been a coach, he's a parent of an alumni, and just a huge supporter. And he is such a great example for all of us of what it truly means to live a solution life. Our theme this year, if you come on campus, you've seen the sign already. Our theme this year is faith, family, and service. Wait, what? You've heard that before? It's intentional. It's the same theme as last year because you know what? We haven't finished our goals from last year. We got sidelined. We had to, take a pause with this pandemic and everything. We still have work to do in that area. So our theme is still faith, family, and service, but we've added a little bit. Service for justice. We don't want service just to be helpful. I mean, service is good, but we really want to be mindful this year that our service is about creating justice for others in this world. And the other part that we added on is we do all these things, faith, family, and service for justice. We do those things to create hope for our lives and our community. We need that more than ever right now. So Mr. Lucas is such a great example of somebody who's lived his life with faith, a life of service, a life of family, so important to him, and he does all of his things, and everything he's done in his life, he's created hope. So I'm so excited for you to hear what Mr. Lucas has to say. So without further ado, let me please introduce Mr. Lucas.
Good morning. My name is Danny Lucas, and for those of you who do not know me, I came to St. Francis as we were very fortunate to have our youngest son, Chad, attend St. Francis, which was one of the highlights of his life, much less ours. I was able to coach basketball at that time, plus help assist with other things in the school, which was a privilege for me to be able to do that. I'm here today to talk to you about family, faith, hope, and service for justice, which I believe if I did not have that in my life, I wouldn't be here. Every one of us grew up a little bit differently, and everybody has a story. My story is about as rough as anybody else, excuse me. If I did not have my faith, I did not have my family, I would not be here. Okay, sorry for the interruption, but back to the story. Each one of us, unfortunately, have to grow up a little bit differently. Fortunately, unfortunately, however you want to look at it. Some people's stories are a little bit tougher than others, and some people get the opportunity to not have to face anything in their life, which is, I think, is a privilege. But some of us had to face a lot of other things in this world. I come from a very abusive background when I was a youngster, and if I did not have that people say God, the Lord, I call him the man upstairs. If I didn't have him, I wouldn't be here. I look to him for guidance. I look to him for hope. I look to him for faith and to keep me going in the right direction. My family, my two brothers and my parents have been gone a long time. I've been by myself for a long time. So back to the story, some of us grow up a little bit differently, and we're in environments that we grow up in. And unfortunately, a lot of young people are victims of their environment and the abusive nature of what they've grown up in, whether it's a lot of different kinds of abuse, which I've had to live with, deal with. But I made a choice. I did not want my family to to ever have to go through anything like that. And I'm very proud of that, because it has to stop with someone, and it's stopped with me. So hopefully our children, our young men now, will not ever succumb their family to anything that myself or anybody else has ever been through. I'm very proud of that. I'm very fortunate now. I always wanted to have a home and a family. We never really had a home. We constantly moved, and the family was very disruptive. I set my sights as a young person to have my own home and have a great family. And I finally accomplished that. I did that by working hard. Most of my life I've had two jobs. I was a carpenter, and I'm still a carpenter, but I was a fire captain for 36 years. And if I did not have an unfortunate accident, I would still be doing that, because it was never a job for me to be a fire captain. It was a privilege to do what we do. Every one of us will, when we're a youngster in high school, even when we're growing up, we have image problems about fitting in with other people, or material things. They have the fancy shoes and I don't have the fancy shoes. That was not a big deal to me. That's just stuff. If you don't have your family and you don't have God, the other stuff really doesn't mean anything. I have never, ever idolized athletes and actresses and rappers, as some of you young people today do. I've admired their talents. I respected firemen, policemen, nurses, teachers, doctors. I based my life on, no matter how hard you're working, someone's working harder than you. And you don't have to be like others, try to be better. As I mentioned, all my family is gone now. I've idolized one person in my life. And I still do. Once again, sorry for that, but I've idolized one person in my life, and that person is my older brother. He spent most of his life at the Shriners Hospital for Crippled Children. 17 major surgeries in 18 years of life. And I never heard him say, feel sorry for me. He said to me, Danny, you really don't understand, and I want to teach you something. No matter what I've gone through, there's people that have gone worse, or gone through worse stuff than me. Wow. I based my life on him. I have never, ever in my life quit anything. Because if I ever do, I will disrespect him. I will never do that. I want to thank you for listening. You have to focus on the person that you want to be. Don't get sucked up to what everybody else is doing. You can set an example, or you can be an example. You have to make the choice of what you want to do. Good luck on this year, and good luck on pursuing your dreams.